Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Dunebrook's Tuesday at 10. We are so excited to have our very own Healthy Families staff. We have Jocelyn Coburn, who's one of our Healthy Families family support specialists, and the leader of the pack, which is Miss Gabrielle Ginther. Gabby is director of Healthy Families and does a wonderful job. And of course, Dunebrook, for those of you who don't know, we do child abuse prevention and intervention. The intervention piece being interviewing suspected cases of abuse and giving them support and starting the healing process for the child and the family. And the prevention piece, which Healthy Families is just an unbelievable, outstanding program that both Gabby and Jocelyn will talk about the specifics. And that is helping parents get a really healthy start, both as expectant parents and after they have their baby, their child, um, to start some really healthy habits that will be lifelong and keep them on an even keel. And sometimes a crazy world of parenting, which is Gabby and Jocelyn will talk about, is very difficult. So thank you for joining us here at Dunebrook. And we'll get just kind of started right away. So again, Jocelyn, and maybe we'll start with you. Thank you again for coming. And no problem with your little guy there in the background. Why don't you tell us a little bit, Jocelyn? I know you're working on your master's in social work, but tell us a little bit, why did you get into this kind of work?
So I actually wanted to go to grad school for school psychology.
Uh-huh.
And then my program got canceled at Valpo. So I knew that I wanted to kind of work with children. And I know like my long-term goal is to work in schools. So I just figured that I would go into social work, and my focus is school social work. And so I thought that, becoming a family support specialist at Dunebrook, it's a really good way to get experience in the field, just because I haven't had any experience before. So yeah, that's how I got started.
Great. So basically a passion for helping children and,
Mhm.
and helping parents. That's great, Jocelyn. Thank you.
Yes.
And Gabby, gosh, you've been at Dunebrook how long now, Gabby?
I just had 14 years.
14 years. And
Yeah.
so tell us a little bit about why originally you got in the field and so dedicated to what you do and such a wonderful leader and director. Because you have how many staff, Gabby?
There's 16 total Healthy Family staff. So
A lot. So tell
yeah,
us a little bit about you, Gabby, and why you got into the field.
sure. So I have a bachelor's in social work. So I was going to Purdue and I needed somewhere to have an internship. And I'd never heard of Dunebrook before. And my professor recommended Dunebrook. So I actually started as an intern at Dunebrook many, many years ago. And after I completed my internship, I actually got hired with Healthy Families, and I started as a home visitor. I did that for a few years. I was a supervisor, and then I've been the program director here for the past 5-6 years. So just the same thing. I always knew I kind of started out my career path as wanting to be a teacher, and then changed to social work. So I really love the Healthy Families program because we are still teaching and educating. So it really does all go together.
Yeah, well, that's great, Gabby. Thank you. And why don't you just tell the audience a little bit, what is Healthy Families and, what do you do and who do you serve and the benefits?
Sure. So Healthy Families is a home visitation program. It's free, and we focus on promoting child development and teaching education and providing support for families. So we can serve families either prenatally or they have to enroll before the child is 3 months old. So Healthy Families is really focused on early childhood prevention. So that is why we have the window to enroll. But the awesome thing with Healthy Families is that we can serve until age 5. So we can stay with your family until your child is 5 years old, which is wonderful because I always hear people say, like, when you first have a baby, like, oh, don't worry, it'll get easier.
Yeah.
But I have a 5-year-old and I'm still waiting for it to get easier. I don't think it ever like gets easier. There's just different challenges and different things that come up at every stage. So it's great that we can still work with parents and provide that support for so long. And I will point out too that I say it's a home visitation program, but of course, COVID has changed so many things. We are offering home visits either in person or virtually. So we will do the home visits either via Zoom or phone call too, if that is what you are most comfortable with. So we kind of base that on what the family support specialist is comfortable with and what the family's comfortable with. So we do have both options now.
That's great, Gabby, because some people actually, I think sometimes are more comfortable with the virtual. And maybe can you just briefly address that idea that even a healthy, emotionally healthy mom, dad, why healthy families? I mean, some of us come from big families and we have a lot of support, but why is it sometimes even better to get support outside the family for how to parent? Can you
Sure.
talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, parenting's hard. It doesn't matter. Every family is unique and has its own challenges, but parenting in general, it doesn't matter. It's just hard. I worked at Dunebrook for a long time before I had my daughter and still like found myself, questioning things, not knowing kind of what to expect. So I say that's the first thing. It's just hard, and we can be a support for you. So we can help you with what to expect. So even when you're pregnant, all the way until, you have a 5-year-old, what are the normal developmental milestones? What can you expect next? We use research-based accredited curriculum. So we can find information on any topics, that you're interested in. If you're not sure, how much should my child be eating, we can research that and give you information on that. So, we're there to help support families however they need the support.
Yeah, gosh, that's such an interesting concept. That idea of the anxiety that we as parents, young parents, feel when we don't know if we're on the right track about anything, whether it's how we discipline, whether they're at development stage, and to be able to bounce that off someone, and very different than I think in this era of Google and the internet. Sometimes we all think we can look it up online, but when you have someone like Jocelyn and or yourself that is research trained, knows some of these ideas and facts and share that and answer parents' questions, that is wonderful. And what are some of the common problems that you find over and over again that you help parents with?
So I'll go first, and I'm sure Jocelyn, she has great experience with this too. But I think some of the common problems, like I talked about, not knowing what to expect. So, families that just aren't sure about milestones. When do I start potty training? Am I doing this right? What's coming next? So we're there to help support them through that. Also, families that are struggling with maybe needing food assistance, housing assistance, job searching, maybe needing childcare vouchers. We can help connect families to all of those resources. So, our family support specialists are awesome in staying up to date and staying in the know about all the resources in the community so they can pass that information along to families.
Great, great. Jocelyn, yes. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so Gabby kind of hit everything, but yeah, I feel like we're always kind of staying up to date on everything, making sure that, whatever our family is needing at that time, we kind of like tailor it to them, make it obviously, individualized for each family. But yeah, rental assistance, food assistance, housing assistance. Yeah, we kind of help with all of that.
Great. And one of the things I hear, Jocelyn, all the time is that our clients do not feel judged, meaning you meet the expectant mom, the new mom and dad where they're at. And there's no judgment
Absolutely.
call that you're not good enough. In fact, you build as it's strength based, I think you talk about. You build on their strengths. Tell us a little bit about that.
Gabby, do you want to?
Sure. Yeah. So, just like you said, just like you talked about, meeting the family, where they're at. We're not coming in to tell you how to parent. We're not coming in to tell you what to do. We're giving you the most up-to-date information that is research-based, to try and provide that information for you. So we're never going to come in and say, oh, you're doing this wrong, or, not that way. We're there to be a support for you and kind of talk to you about, okay, why are you doing it this way? And sometimes, a lot of times what we find is, well, because that's what my mom did, or
Sure.
that's what I just thought you were supposed to do. I saw my cousin do this, so kind of, breaking down those walls and getting to the cause of why maybe they're doing certain things, and saying, okay, well, here is another option. Here is something else that you could try. We see that with discipline a lot. So just giving research-based information to families, of something else that they could try, and we'll teach them how to try, like using timeouts, for example. We'll talk to them about how to do that, and how to be consistent. And, we'll revisit those things then at each visit. So, just a lot of support with meeting the family wherever they're at.
Right. Yeah. Jocelyn, did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
Yeah. So I know we never ever judge families. Like you said, we kind of meet them where they're at. We give them the information. And yeah, we want them to be the best parents that they can possibly be. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's what I hear from surveys and so forth over the years, is they don't feel judged. It's really, as Gabby said, you are answering their questions, and ultimately they're the ones that make the decision of what they want to do. You're just providing new information and options that maybe they never thought of.
Exactly.
Everything from safe sleep to, where
Yeah.
they should be on whatever issues. So
Mhm.
that's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah, and it's also wonderful too. We do developmental screens too for families. What I was going to mention earlier.
Yeah.
That's always a common thing is, is my child doing what they're supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
So we start those early on, and we can do them all the way through service. So we use a standard tool, and we can, give the parents feedback on if the child, does seem to be meeting developmental milestones. And if they're not, early intervention is a huge key. So if they're not, we can encourage them, okay, maybe talk to your doctor, or, reach out to other services in the community like First Step. So we can help connect them again to those resources too.
Right. And there's another perfect example. And I know there's been examples through the years about, thank goodness, they had a home visitor that noticed XYZ about the child that didn't seem to be on track. And because you suggested possibly getting a second opinion from a doctor or someone at school or academically, I guess not academically, but physically or emotionally, that you can find out really early if something's not on track and just investigate it, that can make all the difference in the world.
Mhm.
Gosh, it's great. The next thing I want to ask about is a little bit about the pandemic and the unique problems that it has caused. So, I know sometimes we talk about the fact that, it's been a year and a half now, almost 2 years come March, and sometimes the pandemic issues and problems are subtle, and sometimes they're very great. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about that, Jocelyn, Gabby?
yeah, so I think what I've noticed most with families so far is just, it's sad, but like rental assistance, and also food assistance as well. I think that's the biggest thing that I've noticed so far. And so just finding the resources for them, to get food and pay rent, it's really important. That's what I've noticed the most.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jocelyn.
definitely.
Gabby?
And just the other side of it, just the stress and the uncertainty. Like it's hard to believe that we are still, here in things, seem to get better. So I think that people kind of get more relaxed. And then, we had Delta variant come along and our numbers are back up. So we are still very much in a pandemic. So I think the stress of it, the uncertainty of it, maybe it's the stress of actually wondering if your family or your child is going to get sick. Those with older children, do I send them to preschool? Do I send them to school?
Right.
And then, they get sent home and sometimes have to quarantine. And then how does that affect their job if they are working outside the home? So just lots of stressors still that are coming directly from the pandemic, even though kids are back, for the most part back in school. There's still worries with sending, sending the children to school. And then like Jocelyn touched on, just the stress of how the pandemic, how COVID has maybe changed your family situation. Maybe you were working and now you're not. Maybe you were working outside the home and now you have to work from home. With the change of job or the loss of job obviously has other impacts, like Jocelyn said, like housing and food assistance too. So we have seen, an increase in the need for those referrals and that support from families.
Right. And maybe you can talk a minute about, I have to say, we had a school counselor on Tuesday at 10 last week and talked about the anxiety that children find with being home and then going to school.
Yeah.
And separation anxiety. So there's all kinds of things we don't even think about. And to have a home visitor say, did you check in with your child about XYZ, is really a good thing. Can you also talk maybe a little bit about the depot and the fact that when parents find new behaviors or learn new healthier behaviors, they get points and then they can turn those in for diapers. I heard recently that sometimes the high cost of diapers can be 13-15% of a family's income, and how horribly expensive that is, and how they can get free diapers with Dunebrook, with Healthy Families in your program. Maybe explain how that works a bit.
I'll explain a little bit just briefly about the depot, and then Jocelyn can kind of talk about maybe some of the most popular items or things that she does assist families with. So we do have a great incentive program. It's called the Family Depot, and it is stocked with baby items. So baby shampoos, body washes, diapers, wipes, some clothing, development appropriate toys. And the great thing about our Family Depot is you are earning points for things that you a lot of times are already doing. So you're keeping your home visit with your home visitor. You are completing a family goal that you set with your family support specialist. You are taking the child to their doctor appointments and well child visits, or you're going to your prenatal visits. So you're earning points for all of those things. And so it's a great way to earn free brand new items. And Jocelyn can kind of talk about how she brings those items then out to families.
Great.
Yeah. So, so if I'm in a home and I reward points for, like Gabby said, wellness checks, prenatal checks, if my family completes an assignment that I assign to them, I also assign points for, like, if I notice a positive, like, child interaction, I would assign points for that too. But anyways, so I go into the depot and I turn in their points, and then I just kind of grab everything that they are wanting at that time. And then, if they need it right away, if it's like something urgent, then I would find time in my schedule to bring it out to them, or I just hold on to it and then wait until the next visit that I have with my family. So it's kind of like an exchange that way. Also, depot points, they're like cash, right? So we like to have the family take care of them, like it's their responsibility. So that's kind of a good incentive too. The depot is just a really good incentive.
Right. So it's a win-win situation. Not only is a parent de-stressing because they feel like they're on a good, healthy track, if you would, but they're getting free diapers, free wipes, free, oh my goodness, all kinds of baby things, because they're putting energy and effort and doing good, healthy things for themselves and their child. That is fabulous.
Yeah. We also have a free books for families.
Yeah.
So we can bring books out to every home visit for all children in the family. So that is a great thing too.
Yeah,
Healthy
so
families is,
children's books, right, Gab? And
yeah,
you help the
yeah,
parents see the value of reading to their child,
yes.
which I remember calms me down as a parent, let
Mhm.
alone the child enjoying the interaction.
Yeah, and it's promoting early childhood literacy, and we're helping them. We always say build their library. So,
Yeah.
we can bring books out to families as well. So it's a great added benefit.
Yeah, that's great. And another free item, right, is that right, Gabby, when a parent signs up to find out more about healthy families and they go through an assessment, they get a free pack and play.
Yeah, so Healthy Families is looking to enroll new families. And the easiest way to get in contact with us is just to give us a call. Ebony is our family resource specialist, and we have a 1-800 number that families can call. And we also have an option if you aren't comfortable maybe making that initial phone call that you could always text. So our text phone number is 219 814 2298, and that it will go right to Ebony. You could just tell her that you are interested in learning more about healthy families. And if you don't have a safe place for your child to sleep, she will bring you out a free pack and play.
Oh my God.
So that's wonderful. So not only do you get the free pack and play, but she'll kind of go over some safe sleep information with you. You also get like the fitted crib sheet and like a little sleep sack for the baby. If you have a pack and play, we'll also bring you out just another gift then if you don't need it. But it's kind of just an incentive for completing that initial appointment and agreeing to get signed up for home visiting.
Oh my gosh, Gabby, that's wonderful. Jocelyn, did you have anything else that you wanted to add about that or any?
No, Gabby covered it really well.
Great, great. Well, what a wonderful program, ladies. Thank you for all that you do. And it is such a win-win situation, especially in this time where we all could use a little support. I know sometimes in the world we're not used to asking for help, but Gabby, just what you said, give us a call. Megan will put that on the screen when she plays this, those numbers. Just give us a call and find out about the program. If a healthy families family support specialist comes out and it's not for you, you don't have to go back, but just give them a try, I think. And it is a wonderful thing. We all can use support, and you guys are so fabulous at what you do.
Yes.
It's win-win.
Just
Yes, Gab.
Yeah, just a big shout out to all of our family support specialists and our family resource specialists, our supervisors. We have such a great team with Healthy Families and at Dunebrook. So all of our staff is so caring, so supportive, and so hardworking. So we really do have the best staff that is just really eager to help families again, because we know it's not easy, especially parenting during a pandemic. So, and parents, you have to take care of yourself
Right,
to be able to be there and take care of your kids. So,
right.
um, we can help support you with anything that your family needs.
Gosh, that's wonderful, Gabby. Jocelyn, Gabby, thank you so much for your time today. I know you're really busy with the program and getting out there and helping all kinds of moms and expectant moms and mothers and fathers who have recently had children. So thank you for all you do and the wonderful staff.
Yeah,
Um,
thank
and
you.
Gabby, I love what you just said. There's no time like now to take care of ourselves. And the key word, this is a free program. This
Yes.
does not cost you anything. And in fact, you gain so many things, not only emotionally, but physically getting all those items that we talked about.
Yeah,
So,
and we also, I do want to mention that we
sure.
have two Spanish speaking home visitors as well.
Yay.
So
Right.
if you need Spanish speaking, we do have home visitors, family support specialists there to support you and your family as well.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. And again, as you said, Gabby, we all have issues, some greater, some not so great, but we all can benefit from getting some free, I don't even know if it's advice, but just ideas on options on any part of parenting that could help you. So thank you for what you do. And I leave with saying, please, if you're listening to this and you are expecting or you know someone who's having a baby, let them know about Healthy Families. You can go to our website, dunebrook.org, and find out more, or even better, give us a call and explain your situation, and we can tell you all about it and what it looks like. So thank you, ladies. Any last minute, anything?
I don't think so. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, cheers to Healthy Families, and thanks again for being on today. And we wish everyone well, and be good to yourselves and be good to others. Thank you so very much.